Here we go into one of my favorite kinds of problems. We're going to use basic geometry to evaluate definite integrals given a really funky looking curve. It's a very classic kind of problem in all calculus classes. I love doing it. It's really fun. Given the graph of g of x below consists of line segments, these are the line segments, and semicircles, evaluate each definite integral. So you're told that basically if you think it's a triangle or you think it's a part of a circle, it is. So if we want the definite integral from -4 to -2, what essentially that is, and I would always sketch things out in my drawings, so that's going to be the area from here to here. So the area of this triangle right in there. All of that. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so how do we rock that? Well, it's a triangle, but keep in mind it's below the x-axis. So our area is going to be negative since we're going from left to right. And everything's below the x-axis. So the area is going to be 1/2 the base. The base is 2, right? That amount is 2 right there, times the height of the triangle, which goes down 1, right? Okay, that's not bad. So that's your -1 right there. And on the A, B, or BC exams, you can leave your answer like that. That's considered numerical. Don't simplify it. But it does simplify to -1. Done. Okay, how about this? This would be the definite integral from -2 to 0 of g of x. Well, okay, I'm going to erase that last area that we just did there. So I'll get rid of all of that stuff just to make room for the good stuff. All the new stuff here. Let's get rid of all that. Beautiful. Okay, so now from here, we're going to be finding the area from -2 to 0. Oh, well now that's all of this part right here. Notice that they're actually the same exact triangles. You've got a height of -1, a base of 1. A height of +1 and a base of 1. So because you have the same area below the x-axis as you do above the x-axis, our value is going to be 0. And if you don't trust me, you can be like, well, okay, let me calculate it out. So the area of the first triangle, 1/2 times the base is 1. The height was -1. Plus, we add the area of this part. That'd be 1/2. The base was 1. The height was +1. This is -1/2. That's +1/2. It's equal to 0. Let's keep rolling. It's fun, right? I love these problems. They're so fun. All right, so I'm going to undo all those scribbles there. Again, just so that we've got pretty good, clean template for each next part. The area from 0 to 1, that's what we're finding between the function g of x and the x-axis. So 0 to 1, that's not bad. That's just this right here. All right, so that's this. That's a triangle. That's going to be equal to 1/2. The base has a width of 1. The height from 0 to 1. And so that's equal to 1/2. It's quick. It's harmless. It's geometry, right? Yeah, you might be thinking, geometry was not that harmless for me, bro. Okay. Ooh, this one is the area from 1 to -1. That's going from right to left. I like to switch up the signs here. So I like to use my property that says that if I'm integrating from right to left, I can take the opposite sign and then integrate from left to right. And I love using that property here. That way I'm just keeping everything in a normal left to right motion. Makes more sense to me. You don't have to do it that way though. Just keep track of the fact that this is going to be negative because we're going right to left. So we need the area from -1 to 1. And that has a base of 1, 2. So we got 1/2. The base is again 2. The height is +1. And you got that negative sign there. That's from our switch. So that's equal to -1 when we do everything out. And again, it's -1 because we accumulated area from right to left. So normally we'd be accumulating a positive area from left to right, but reverse the direction we're going in and you're losing area. Think of it as if I were making money going to the right, if I go back in time, the account would go down. We'd be losing money. All right, that's another way of looking at it. Okay, let me erase all that, clean it up. Here we go on to the next part. Okay, next page. We got this. You're doing great. Okay, we got a whole bunch of them to find. Same exact problem. 1 to 3 of 2g of x. What? Well, first of all, let's factor out a coefficient. I always like to do that. So that's 2 times the integral from 1 to 3 of g of x dx. Nice. So now from here, that's the area from 1 to 3. So that's everything in here. Well, that's a semicircle. So that's going to be 2 times, that's the 2. The semicircle will be 1/2 pi r squared. Well, the radius is 1, going from 2 to 3. Oh, that's not so bad. Simplify that on down. 1 squared is 1. Pi times 2 times 1/2 ends up just being pi. The 2 and the 1/2 cancel. Nice. Awesome. All right, on to this problem here. You got that negative there? No sweat. Pull it out of the problem, right? Just consider the piece of the problem that you're comfortable with. So we pull out that negative exponent, that negative sign. We've got 3 to 5 of g of x. Okay, let me erase all of this again to just clean it up a little bit. Oh, beautiful. And if we go from 3 to 5, that's here to here. Notice it's below the x-axis. So that negative sign comes down in our work. Then we're going to have the same exact area. It's the same radius, semicircle. So it's still going to be pi, but, well, not pi, sorry. Let's do it from the start. It's going to be 1/2 pi times the radius squared. But it's below the x-axis, so all of this is negative. That negative came from the original problem. This negative came from the fact that we're taking the area below the x-axis. So we're taking the opposite of that negative area. That opposite, by the way, would flip this and put it above the x-axis, making for positive area. So it'll make sense when we get a positive answer in a second. So this is negative pi over 2, makes it positive pi over 2. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, now what do we do when we want the area from -4 to 3 of g of x? We go and find it. Let me erase what we got here. So from -4 to 3, that's going to be a lot. Let me erase all of this. So if we're going from -4 to 3, that's going to be everything in here, and then everything in here. You just add up all the pieces. Okay, well, how do we do this? Well, we're going to find the area of this whole triangle here, the area of that triangle, add them up. Remember, this will be negative, and then add up that semicircle. So that's equal to 1/2. The base of this is from -4 to -1. That's 3. Times the height is -1, right? It goes down 1. Plus 1/2, we're doing the area of this triangle, times the base was 2 of that triangle. The height is 1. Not bad. So we're just kind of moving along left to right, taking our time, easy geometry. And now we want the area of the semicircle, which again has a radius of 1. The semicircle would be 1/2 pi r squared. R again is 1. We square it. Now on the A, B, or BC exam, please leave your answer unsimplified. There's no reason to simplify that unless you're using the number later or comparing it to another number. I'm going to simplify it because some math teachers want you to do that. So -3/2 plus, this will be 1. 1/2 times 2 times 1. And this is pi over 2. And we can simplify it a little further. -3/2 plus 1 is -1/2 plus pi over 2. And you know what? I'm not simplifying it any further than that. That's good enough. All right. Ooh, this one's a challenge. The integral from -4 to 3 of the absolute value of g of x. We're going to use some of the information in here, but what the absolute value of g of x means is it takes all the y values of the curve and it makes them positive. So the only difference in our calculations is that this part here that goes below the x-axis, all of this, has now become positive because we're taking all the negative values and taking the absolute values of them, which makes them all positive. So now that's the only difference. So this would still be equal to the same exact thing. The only difference is that is now going to be, instead of -3/2, a +3/2. The area of that triangle. This is still 1, and that, which is still above the x-axis, is still pi over 2. So only the negative pieces need to be changed, and I'm not going to recalculate the areas. We already had them from last time. 3/2 plus 1 is 5/2. So this will be 5/2 plus pi over 2. Nice. Very nice. All right, don't forget about I. It's hiding up there. The integral from 1 to 5 of g of x. All right, how are we going to find that one? Well, we'll rock it. No worries. So let's erase all of this going on here, clean up our template, and make it so that it's relatively clean. We can see what we're doing. So the integral from 1 to 5 would be here to here, and I'll do this in a different color. Notice that these are the same exact circles. They're congruent. So that area is equal to this area, but that's negative. So we're going to end up having 0 as area. And if you're like, I don't believe you. Well, the area we know from 1 to 3, we found that before, is pi over 2. This area is also therefore pi over 2, but it's negative, which equals 0. Oh, that was fun. I could keep doing problems like these all day. Simple geometry, but you need to know that that simple geometry can be represented by a pretty complex looking definite integral. Once you get your integral rules down and you have a nice geometric curve, just use basic geometry to calculate them. All right, until next time, I will see you on the flip side. Peace.